Where are you going to sit, Mason? All right, your riders are live in Ames tonight, and we got Mason Hodney, the voice. No, yeah, Mason Hodney, the voice of the Cedar Rapids RoughRiders high school team, ready to take over the broadcast here.
Yes, I am. Put it through the hole. There, that works. There we go. Everything's situated as we are back at the ISU Arena here at Ames, Iowa, as the Cyclones host the Cedar Rapids RoughRiders. As the Riders here, night number 2 on the road trip, as they take on the orange and black here today. As we have our starting lineups: Hayden Sinclair as the centerman, left wing Gage Boltman, right wing is Drake Gunkel from this angle. Yes, it is Gunkel. The defenseman to the left, Michael Stasky to the right, Carson Schilling, and then the man in the net as the goaltender. We have ourselves Remy Caravue. Back inside the zone of the Cyclones, Cedar Rapids on top of the puck. Moves it out to the center, trying to keep it in. Sinclair lost it. And here come the Cyclones, trying to skate it outside. Through his skates, tries to poke check it up ahead. Sinclair trying to spin around, kept in and thrown in deep around the net. Michael picks it up, a man right on top of him. Shouldered up against the boards. Just tries to chip it out past his man. And just held it up against the boards, trying to fish this one out. Sinclair sends it out to Michael. Stasky backhand pass. Boatman didn't even see it coming towards him. Picked off by Ames. Now we just give it back to Michael, who sends it up across the boards. Gunkel tries to pick it up. Unable to get past 8. Circles back around. Driving with it. Lost it for a second. Tries to go through his legs. That was Briston with it. Now back to Myers. Myers sends this one in deep. Right past Schilling. Back inside our zone. The defense. Michael had it for a moment. And now goes back to Ames. Tries to center a pass out in front. Dangerous opportunity. Unable to get the shot off on the goaltender. From the point, Van Meer throws this one out to the side. Here's a shot there from the center of the ice. And snared away by Remy. First shot on goal of the game.
Go Riders!
As the Riders with a line change, bringing the Holt line on the ice. Huh?
I like the
Business?
That's why I sit here.
Yeah. What she said. As the puck leaves the zone, goes back over to the defenseman, throws it up across the boards. Y sends this one in. Off the boards, a man fell over on top of the puck. Yeldon tries to get on top of it, put a stick in the way. Back to Holt now. Pass over to the forehand, the Lee's camp. Now this one back over hit Seiler's stick for a moment. Now it hits his body. He goes inside the zone. Dangles through past one man shooting over top of the net. Goes over towards the boards. Puts the body up to try to keep it inside the zone. Lyle leaves it there. The Seiler off his stick as the puck leaves the zone. It goes in deep. Ames defenseman the first on top of it. Now Holt tries to steal it away. Now tries to pick this one up. Frangella slices the pass out to Manziel, who gets bodied up over by the blue line. Tries to keep the puck inside the zone. That was B right there. Keeping it in. B now tries to go back around the net. Popping up in the air. Ames and Phillips, they're battling for the puck. Cyclones with it. Going past Aiden. With this man over top. There we go. Inside the zone. 88 with it. Now sends this one. He takes up in the corner now. Knocks over his man. Cedar Rapids. Tries to clear it outside of the zone. Kept it in for a moment. Now exits it skating out. Phillips with it. Sends it in deep. 15 on top of it. Phillips still on the forecheck. Puts him up against the boards. Pressures it. Flips it to the other side of the ice. Now Sinclair in the corner. Falling over. Now Sinclair moves it up to the point. Frangella with a shot off the post, and then he scores! Dominic Frangella from the point. His first ever high school career goal. And that one he'll remember as the Riders strike first in this game. 86 in black. The freshman out of Livermore High School with the goal. Big time goal for the Riders. As last night they struck first. But in that game, Waterloo scored 5 straight goals to get the victory. Let's not have that happen here tonight. Sinclair gets the puck, goes indirect with the pass. That was a little bit too far to Boatman. As we'll go back inside our zone for the face-off. And Hayden Sinclair with the lone assist on the goal. Off the draw, Holt wins it cleanly. Schilling has it, tries to send it up to Yeldon. Up against the boards. Battling for the puck. It goes up the Wipe. Wipe with it. Sends a pass out in front to the winger. 76 in orange. Got met up there by Elise Camp. Falling over by the Cedar Rapids bench. We're 2 players in front. Now they're over by the referees. Battling for the puck. Tries to center a pass out for Gus. It went a little bit too far for him. Stick in the lane there by Holt. Schilling a shoulder check. Takes a body. Holt leaves it to Cowan. Cowan the pass. Almost got it to Seiler. Ames on top of it, and that's going to be offside. As Seiler touched the puck up right when there was a rider still inside the zone. (19 versus 90). Aiden wins the faceoff cleanly. Frangella sends it in, and he scores from the neutral zone. That's the second goal this weekend that this has happened. 2 goals for Frangella. Just trying to dump it inside the zone for the forecheck, but turns into a shot off the crossbar and in the back of the net. He is on fire today. And 5 minutes haven't even gone into the game. It was just sailing and floating over. Beautiful shot. And Cedar Rapids really pounding on Ames early. And it goes into the corner. Schilling on it. Had it for a moment. Now 92. Couldn't keep it in. Van Meer back 21. Ames with the puck. Holds it back. Phillips steals it away. Tried to throw it towards the net. Cyclones underneath the skates of Boatman. It goes over to the defense. Stasky picks it up. Centers a pass out to Sinclair. Hayden Sinclair over. Driving in with the puck. Still just holds on to it. Holds it back. Sends it out to Gage, who has a stick on top of it. Tries to throw it for head forward. Now Sinclair enters inside the zone. Knocked it off of a stick. Cyclones battling for it underneath their skates now. Moves it to Gage, looking, shooting. Save made there with the shoulder and the shot there. Another chance in front, missed the net. Battling for this one, up against the boards. Sinclair moved off the puck, sending it out to Myers. Myers fires it. Bad save made there by Remy. Tries to throw it up towards the net. Lee's Camp picks it back up for the Riders. Cedar Rapids moves the pass out in front to Lai. Lai past the red line in. Pulls back up, fires a shot there out the blocker. Langerman in, underneath his skates as the puck went in up against it. Cyclones able to cruise it, knock it outside of the zone. No icing. Lai, one man hard on top of him. Just tries to hold the puck onto him, leaving it out loose. Ames with it, moves it to Morgan. Morgan keeps it inside the zone. Back to Kellen. Kellen gets checked. Puck is up ahead by the Ames point. Throws it back in deep. Back by the red line. Picking it up. Shooting. Redirected off a rider man in front. And back possession here for Ames. Moves it to the point. 15 a shot. That was immediately blocked. Tries to throw it back in there. It's picked up by the Cedar Rapids defense. Pass moved out to Langerman. He's moving around with the puck. Has wide open players, but he fumbled it at the back end. Now tries to look again. Sends it the other way. It's picked up by Frangella. Dom tries to move a pass out in front of the center. Aiden had it for a moment, knocked away from him. Now tries to steal this puck. 22. That's going to be Morin. Morin just tries to shovel it towards the net. It goes over top. It was deflected by a stick. Now here's a bad bounce. Almost back into our own net. As they threw it in front of the net. Bounced off our own player. Back to Seiler. Hit the stick out in front. Cody Knapp against the wall. Tries to move it ahead forward. Holt turns away from the boards. 88. Tries to move a pass out in front, kept in. Underneath his skates, Frangella with the pass, picked out of the air with the gloves. Would have been a nice pass. Here come the Cyclones, looking a long shot in as the forward. 8 with it, puts his body up against it, and moves back to Stosky. Michael has it up the middle. Tries to get a pass, but he decides to skate it. He gets checked up against the boards. Falling over there by the referee was a Cyclone. Now to the point. Holt just zips it inside the zone. Manziel had it for a moment. Moves the puck out to Schilling. Having to exit outside of the zone. D to D they look. Stosky had it. Now goes back to retrieve the puck. Backhander feed to Schilling. Moves it immediately back to Michael. Michael tries to shovel it forward. Now he gets it out of harm's way for now. Back to the point for Ames. Here's a shot missing the net. Out in front. This one picked up by 6. Webb for the Cyclones. Moved off the boards. Still underneath. Their skates. Pass out in front. Picked up by Phillips. Briston moves it up ahead to keep it inside the Cedar Rapids end. Now Michael decides to pass it out in front. Hit off of 2 Cyclones. Now Phillips against the boards, battling for possession. Up with it, 6. Sends a pass off the skates of the Ames man. Now turns back around. Boret with it, 44. Stolen away, but kicking it to the side. Still alive with it. Off the skates of the Ames player. Checked up against the boards there by Gunkel. And there's a little bit of some extra stuff, too. No call on the penalty. Tries to move it up ahead, Sinclair. Sinclair moves it to Gage. Gage inside the zone, whiffing with a pass to Gunkel in front, tries to shoot it, and he finishes it off! 3-0 Cedar Rapids! Drake Gunkel with the goal. Beautiful zone entry there by the Riders. Cedar Rapids, all momentum here for the black and green. There's a nice play. The pass on the outside to the center. Open Gunkel shot the puck in. He got his own rebound on the backhand and fired it in. As the Riders so far in this period playing one of their most complete games of the season so far. Seiler takes this puck up away. Cyclones move it back up across the boards. Sending this one in deep. Inside the zone. Cowan tries to pick it up. 88 tried to put a body up against the puck. Here's the better body check. Back to Holt. Holt sends this one up ahead. Van Meel gets checked up against the boards. Now back to 21. Sends it in deep. Holt gets taken down. He dropped the stick. It's over by the bench. Moving the puck up to Seiler. Seiler alone by himself at the moment. Tries to feed it up across the boards. Now he takes it. Tries to drive away around the Ames player. Still has the puck on his stick. Driving through. Tries to dangle, but he lost it at the very end. 88 picks it up. With it, tries to drive around. Schilling pulls back up. Immediately gets attacked. He tried to throw it up in front. Missed the net, up across by the glass. Stosky picks it up, sends a pass right to Aiden. Now the Yeldon moved off the puck. Baxter puts it in deep. He goes in for a line change. Stosky looks up ahead, moves a pass out to Aiden. Dropped it for a moment, takes it back here. Missed it again, falls over by his teammates. Here's the check there for the puck. Moving it up across. By the right side, driving in, dangles through 1-2 men, now drives behind the net with speed, looks to pull up the shot, he'll get it and miss the net completely as the defenseman in with the pitch in the redirection there, missing the net. Back to Schilling, who flips it up across by the boards. At it for off of his stick, still battling for it, dangles around. Possession back with him, backhander down below. Stosky goes up to knock the puck ahead forward. Almost got it to 7. Pulls back up again. Tried to move it over to the defense. Morin got a piece of the puck. Here's a shot there missing the net. Caribou having to make back into the other side to make a save. Stosky moved off the puck, sending him down on the ice. Bouncing back off of Ames, man. As Sinclair feeds a pass up across the boards, leaving the zone. Picking it up, the centerman has it, sending a pass to a wide open Boatman. With it, pulls back up. A man on top of him tries to make a move. Still has it on his stick and knocked outside of the zone. Lie moves it with the puck on his backhand. Just leaves it out for Frangella. Frangella inside, indirect pass up the Gunkel. Tried to throw it towards the net. Now in a foot race for the puck. Body contact. Picks it up. Gage, a nice move to the net. Shooting down below. The rebound there was for Gunkel. Here's another shot. They're ripping it high over top of the net. Dom, this one to Sinclair. Moves it back to the point. Lie goes D to D. Frangella throws it back in. There is a redirection by Gunkel again. Missing the net. 34. Got it right past Lies. The puck leaves the zone. Sinclair moves a pass back to Dom. Dominic sends this one up across past Gunkel. Back it's still inside the neutral zone. Cedar Rapids defense has it, moves a pass out to the centerman. Now back to Langerman, who just joined the ice. Here's a long shot. Rifles it over one of the top shelf corner on the left side, but he missed the net. Yeldon moves this one to Schilling. Off a Leeskamp stick. Moving it up across. In for the pressure. Yeldon puts his man up by the penalty box. Underneath their skates and thrown ahead forward past Kellen. Kellen has to pick up the puck. He has it, tries to go around the net. Knocks it off of him now. Underneath by the boards. Body position. Now just Yeldon takes a check at the very end as he passed it right out in front of Langerman. Moved off the puck. Yeldon now with it. Taken away. 76 of a nice move to get it past the rider. Finds an open man up ahead. Here comes 11. Knocks off the puck. In the slap shot. And missed as it hit his own man. Schilling. This could be a breakaway if Langerman gets there in time, and he won't. Too slow, and the puck too deep inside the zone. Battling for it. Langerman wants to shoot it. He tries to get the pass out instead. That was Phillips who almost picked it up. Out here comes Ames the other way. Tries to make a move and falling over. Making a fool of himself right there. Back around, Frangella picks it up. Past the red line. Past inside the zone. Driving in. Pulls back up again now. Looking for a pass out in front. Taken away by Ames. Now Phillips wants it. Fearless of a shot. Missing the net. Pulling it back. B. Back the 8 in there to the point. Keeping it inside. There's a body check. Not good enough, though. Oh, Phillips gets absolutely laid out there by the side of the boards. Open ice hit. Now those two are still tangled with each other. Back to Ames. Fires wide open, but he missed them. But was Baumgard, who couldn't catch the pass. Results in an icing inside the Ames zone. And with 29.3 seconds to go left in the period, Cedar Rapids looking for some more. From the point, Lees can't put the pass out the lie. It's outside of the zone. Indirectly, moves it out in front. Underneath, past Van Meer. Borat tries to pick it up for Ames. Back around off a man. Goes to the center of the ice, exits. Lie, a man right on top of him, steals it away, looking, tries to get the pass off. He gets it wide in front of open the net, unable to cash it in, as that will finish off the period as Cedar Rapids exploding with a 3-0 lead to start this game. This calls for a water break. Gotta love what you're seeing right now from the Cedar Rapids team, playing with an identity right now and completely outworking this Ames team and beating them in every category of the game right now. As a result, 2 goals from Frangella. 1 from the point and 1 from the neutral zone. And the third one from Gunkel getting a rebound off of his breakaway opportunity. Cedar Rapids with pressure throughout this whole period so far. Let's see how the Cyclones respond right now for the second period. Riders have to keep their head up here and continue the work. Here we go. Off the draw. Holt battles for it. Now Youden and Seiler battling for it as the wingers. Off the boards. Lundale almost got it taken away from him. Now it is. Seiler gets back up. Possible 2-on-1. He shoots, and there's a glove save immediately right into him, snagging it out of the air. Face off, cleanly won by Cedar Rapids. Lai wants a shot. He'll rip it through off the blocker of the Ames goaltender. Back to Lai, knocked out of his hands. Goes right to Remy. Has it, leaves it for Dom. Dom up ahead, just leaves a pass out the Lai. Caden finds a long pass out to Yeldon, who gets it outside of the zone. Zipped in and back inside. For our own defenseman with the puck, sends it to the winger. Seiler tried to get it past the defenseman, knocked out of him. Seiler with it, with the puck on his forehand. Backhanded pass out the Gus by the Cedar Rapids bench. He tries to throw it in deep, unable to get it past the Ames man. Sending this one in deep, hit off a body. Cyclones with the puck. Morin sends it up ahead. Caden with it, backhander pass out to Stasky, sends it up ahead. Red, here comes Ames inside the zone. Pulls back up, throws it to the other side. Wasn't looking around the whole way. Back around by the boards. Boatman sends his one up ahead. Parker Holt pulls the puck away. Dangles past 2 man. He's driving past the third. 1 man is trying to angle off of him. He goes, takes the middle. Here comes Holt, but unfortunately it leaves the zone. Here's the immediate pressure here by Ames. Now Gage with it on a stick. Long shot. Here's it knocked away. It was low over by the pads. Gunkel picks it up from behind the net, tries to split a pass out in front. Here comes Sinclair, unable to get the shot away as he came off the bench. Shilly moves it back out in front, hit it off the stick of Gage. Now back for Sinclair to pick up the puck. Throws it back in. Up, down, below, puts his body into him. Sinclair and Boatman, who sends it back the other side of the ice. Schilling with the pinch in to get on top of the puck. Thrown up ahead, it bounces right to Sinclair on his backhand. Unable to get a bunch of pressure off of it. Oh, and he gets absolutely rammed there from the side behind the net. Now Camp indirect pass to Gage. Sending it in deep. Here comes Gunkel with a shot from the forecheck. It hit the side of the post and bounced forward. Cyclones enter inside. The blue line bearing it with an opportunity, but the man over by the side of the bench came in a little bit too early. That's offside. He's a little frustrated with the little slamming on the stick on the ice. What? Are you kidding me? Bro, we're not going to get another period like that this whole season. Not with this team, we aren't. You gotta be kidding me. Up ahead, here comes B. Manziel, the centering pass out in front. Now it goes back to Y, sending it around the net. It's gonna be Phillips, bounces up ahead. The Fran goes in behind the net. Now it goes, Aiden tries to center a pass out in front. Now Aiden has it right now. Sends a pass out in front. Lai tried to pitch it in. Here come the Cyclones in with speed. Here comes Myers knocked off the puck, but he still has it. Tries to send it through with a pass. Out in front, Frangella moves it to the side, moving it. Here comes Manziel with a pass out of front, too far away for him. In behind with the pressure. Lai pushes him up against the boards. Up ahead, gets shoveled and knocked down to the ground. There was Yeldon as he ran into a man. Langerman holds it back. Moves it D to D. There's Stasky with it. Sets it up ahead. Tried to get it to Gus. He completely missed the pass. So this is going to be icing back inside the Cedar Rapids end for a face-off. The draw. Stosky moves it out to Carson. Sits it up ahead. Tries to jump the route, but it's picked up by Langerman. 2-on-1. Langerman wants to shoot it. He will, and he scores! Absolutely rips the shot. Past the Ames netminder. 4-0 Riders. Ben Langerman, one of the most dangerous offensive weapons on the team, as he absolutely rifled that shot in on the two-on-one opportunity. Just settled on the puck, decided he wasn't going to pass it. Just shot it in. Powerful shot. Off the draw. That's the first goal of the second period. And that one came just a little over 4 minutes into the period. There was a quick shot there by Ames trying to answer back. Now Fred Jella tries to move his man off the puck. Moves it out to the side gauge. Stick handles around with it. Now bruises through, pulls up away, back towards the boards. Up ahead, Sinclair puts a stick on top of the puck, moves it out of the valley of players. Moves a pass out in front, way behind his man. Almost fell over trying to look for the pass. Now Leeskamp chipped it up ahead, forward, 92. Van Meer sets it up ahead underneath the skates of the Ames man and throwing it in deep. Picks it up, Kellen. Backhander pass up across the boards. Now it goes to Aiden. Aiden backhander out in front, 22, sends it up ahead. Gage tries to pick up the puck. Now tries to get it past this man. Up ahead, tries to get it with speed. Centering feed way behind Aiden. Now having to go back for the back check to get on top of the puck. Folkers with it. He cruises in. 88 shot. Stick knocked aside there by Remy in front. Leaving a shot. Rebound goes right back to him. Skates back around. Moves it back to the point the other way. 6 with it. Moves past the man. Shooting on the way. Save goes back to him now. Skating back around in circles. Has it back around towards the boards. Spinning again. 6 with it. Moves it over to the other defenseman partner. Sends it right up the gut and blocks the shot. Now here comes Cody with it. Tries to go in with speed. They're offside at the moment up until now. Picking it up. Going around. He sees an opening. Here comes Borat again. Borat dangling in. Couldn't get past the defenseman at the end. There's a check knocking him off the puck. Over in the corner. Cody tries to get on top of it. He leaves it for him, though. Schilling moves it around. Back to Lai. Lai has it for now. Behind the net. Sets it up. Hits the glass. Kept in, though, by the defenseman. Now Holt tries to get on top of the puck. Friends it in front to 44. Shooting and scoring in front of the net. And the home team ends the shutout. Their first goal of the game. As Cedar Rapids left their man completely wide open in front of the net. Buries it home. Short side down below on the right side of Remy. That goal coming 6 minutes and 15 seconds into the second period. Battling for it, shifts it up ahead. Seiler with it. Enters inside the zone, wanting a shot. Rifles this one, top over the net. Back around, here's a redirection. Almost got on top of the net. Another dangerous opportunity. And there's a check, they're knocking his man down. And the corner tries to pick it up. Seiler has it again. Holds it, wanting a pass. Moves it out to the point, but he missed Michael. And on the forecheck, 34 and 9 for Ames. Tries to steal the way, picks it. Wide open pass. Save made there by Caribou. Immediately on top of his man. Big time save for Cedar Rapids. Off the draw, goes to the point, kept in for now, sends it in, zipping through off the boards. Lee's Camp roofing high one off. Beautiful bounces it, leaves the zone. Gunkel tries to get a hand on top of it, and Feedy will just send it in deep. Up around, Lie moves it up ahead to Gunkel, knocked off his stick out in front. Ames couldn't pick up the puck in time. Here's a slap shot to knock it back down inside the zone. Now sending it through a long pass attempt to get it through. Here's another shot. Kirivu knocks this one to the side. Goes up against the boards. Tries to shove his man over. And up front there, the rebound. Pops up back to Cedar Rapids. Now to the point. Throws it back into the bodies. And blocked again. Ames starting the buzz right now. Cyclones move it down below. Tries to get the shot off 88. Tried to pick it. Here's a shot. Missing the net. Back around, tries to take it. Up ahead, taken away from him. Wanting the shot, rebound out in front, knocked out the Cedar Rapids stick. Sending it back the other way inside the zone. 44, knocked off of his stick. Now Gunkel tries to get on top of it. Sinclair on top of his man. Looking for a shot out of front. There's the pass there, wide open there. He got some contact, just not enough. Baxter throws it back inside. Lie. Tried to get on top of the puck. Now Sinclair tries to take it away. Back over towards the boards. Punishing him up against the glass and sending it right there. That's going to be icing. Much needed stoppage of play there. As we'll get some freshmen on the ice for both teams. Aiden versus Burnett. Face-off was won back by the RoughRiders. Schilling tried to send it through. A little slow on the send. Up over by the senior posters. Puck squirts back out. Underneath it goes back into the huddle of players. Defenseman goes in, skating around with the puck past the referee and everybody. Battles in front of the net, up to the top. Throws a low shot. Remy didn't see it. Now it goes out to the side. Away from everybody and now picked up again, sending him down to the ground. There was Aiden with the body check. Phillips couldn't find it. Now Shitting tries to move it up ahead, bouncing up a top by off the net. And now 44 tries to skate around his man. Tries to go past Frangella, missing a check there with Cedar Rapids. Still with possession here for Ames. Back around, just playing with Frangella right now. And just zipping it through off the body check of Manziel. Cyclones with possession still. Here's a nice move. Still dangling away. Here's a shot save made there. Down below, 15. Throws it back in. Dom wants to clear it. He'll send it through off the boards. Kept in, though, by Morin. Now zipped right outside of the zone. Right over on top by the goaltender, who just leaves it. Picks up the defenseman. Wide open man down ice. And they won't be able to get it to him. Seiler picks it up for the Riders. Tries to dangle once again. Unable to get it in deep. Cyclone, zip it up across the glass. Stosky tries to get on top of it. Moves a pass to the other side of the ice. Back to Lie. Throwing it in deep up across the boards. Hit a stick in the way. Seiler picks this one up. Tries to skate up ahead. With it, tries to drive. Here we goes with possession. Sends it right to Holt stick. Redirection in front. Almost got to the net. Yeldon tries to get it up to the point off a Holt stick. Tries to drink it back inside the zone. He can't. Yeldon moves it there to the D-man. Sasky holds. Tries to move it. Almost dropped it off. He takes it in himself. Past the blue line. With it. Fires it completely wide of the net. Back around underneath the skates as it was deflected there by Gus. It goes back onto his forehand. Almost hit the referee. Back to 22 in orange. Sends it off a man. 34 tries to chip it up ahead. It's in deep of the red line. Lie throws it in deep. Heroes indirect pass, and now trying to pick it up back on side here for Ames. Cedar Rapids flips it up ahead. Kahui with a head of steam right now. Knocked off the puck for a moment and absolutely taken a trip down over by the boards at a bad angle. Now he gets back up on his skates, hit off of his stick. That's not going to be icing. In a foot race with it. Line 11. Underneath, it goes over to his teammate. 88 with the puck. 88 tries to pull back the puck now. Still around with it. Frees it up to the point. He gets absolutely crunched. Man falls down in front of the net. Nobody knows where it is. It's underneath his feet. Camp almost lost the puck. Bounced it right back to himself now as the puck goes flying deep down over by the Ames goaltender. And he just decides to cover it up. With free to go. 15 shots on goals for Cedar Rapids. 12 for Ames of the Cyclones, looming in for another goal. Off the draw, Cedar Rapids tries to win it. Able to keep it inside the zone. Barely there was Frangella as he had a man running straight forward up ahead of him. Cyclones, here's a nice move, a double nice one. And now he skates in. Borat with speed. He already has one goal today. Knocked away off of his stick. Hit off his teammate, and that's going to be offside. Off the draw, given the friend. Now the Leafs camp. Kelwin holds it, sets it up for the centerman. Leaves it, tries to get it to his winger. Phillips with it, tries to shoot it. Goes deflected over top of the net now, battling for it. Here's a check there up against the boards by Aiden. Tries to angle his man off the puck. The defenseman able to keep it in. Frangella knocked off of it. Pass B. Here come the Cyclones. 2-on-1 growing right now. Having Leafs camp able to knock it off. Not it off of his stick, but able to move him off and miss up the timing. Here's another shot there, high up in the air, shooting it right to the center of the stomach there of Caribou as he holds on to the puck. Face off in the Cedar Rapids end. Off the draw, given to Schilling. Schilling moves it out in front of the line. Now the Langerman, he tries to move it up ahead. Right to Yeldon. Yeldon tries to get on top of it, speeding through. He's the first man on it. Gus with it, tries to send the pass out in front of Ben. Now taken back, falling down on his knees. Here comes Ames once again. Myers with it. Pulls back up. Here's the pass up to the point. Immediately shooting it. He lost the stick and he kicks it out to the side. Holt with it on first. Back around. Moves it out to the defenseman. Schilling. Still holds on to an indirect pass off to Langerman. Now it goes back to our D-man. Why? Doesn't want to pass at the hold. He'll set it up to Schilling instead. Now Schilling goes back to him. Fly up ahead, tries to go in on the rush, sending a shot over top of the net. Langerman doesn't seem to want to get it. Ames has it back, around, skating through, puts a stick on top of the puck. Tries to move it up across the boards. Ames now with Nelson sending high over top of the net. Tries to get a stick on top of this one. Holt able to pick it up with it. Going around the man, pulls back the other way. Just leaves it out for his defenseman, for Stosky. Michael sets this one up ahead. Back by Holt. Holt tried to throw in the front underneath a stick in front. Now picked up. Folkers with it. Tries to drive in by the net. Put it in front. Knocked away by Caribou. 17 tries to take a shot. Now the puck goes over to the defenseman. Knocked outside. It's going to be a breakaway. Unable to get it to Langerman, though. And instead, it will be turning into an icing. And with 15 seconds left to go, left of the second period. We'll have a face-off back on our own zone. Off the draw, Ames wins it, but now possession goes to Cedar Rapids. Knocks it outside of the zone, tries to throw it back in. Looking back, Schilling just holds it and skates back in behind the net with a pass to Lie, sending it through off the glass, ending the period. One goal each for both teams in this period as the Riders have a 3-goal lead, 4-1 at the end of 2 periods. Back for the third period. Riders up 4-1 over the Cyclones. Here we go, winning the opening draw. Back to lie as we have the same starting lineups of the game as we started in the first period, as we have an immediate offsides. Off the draw, given right to Cedar Rapids. Goes D to D, lie. Back around with the puck. Off a stick out in front, and it goes deep inside the zone. Battling for it. Boltman tries to center a pass out in front. Now with the pinch there by Frangella. Puck leaves it out for the Cyclones. Back around. Underneath by the blue line. Underneath their skates. With the puck. Folkers just frozen in deep past the red line. Here comes Lyon behind the net. Back around as zips through the other way past the corner and boards. Underneath their skates. Lyon goes to pick it back up. Looking, wanted the pass. He'll skate it instead. Looks and zips it in with a dump down inside the zone. Gunkel tries to angle his man off the puck. Has it back around for Ames. Zipping around in circles, pushes him up against the boards. Now Ames has it. Here's another body check here by Manziel. Here's one by Phillips up against his man in the boards. Shoulder checking is Michael around the net, pulls back away, skating with it. Sets a pass right up here underneath the stick there of Aiden. Knocked off the puck by the defenseman of Ames. Up ahead, moves it back to himself. Tries to dangle past one big defenseman. Cyclones up ahead. Oh, running over Seiler. Didn't even see where the puck was. And Kahui tries to get on top of it. Puck goes back out to Holt. Holt with it. Sends it up the other way. 7, and Ames had it for a moment. Now he's going to be offside as he entered into the zone. Off the draw, taken away from him. Now he tries to move it back ahead. Taken by Fran. Fran up ahead, moves a pass out to Seiler. Kahui holds it back. Toe drag, shooting and falling over as the shot went over top of the net. Langerman picks it up by the faceoff circle, and the zooming pass out in front, leaving the zone. Race in for the puck. Frangella has to keep his head up. Poke the puck up ahead. Ames tries to center one pass out in front of the net. Now attacking Frangella, who has the puck. Langerman gets in the corner along with them, too. Now skating up ahead here is Seiler. Kahui. And he has support by Yoden, and he's taken down to the bottom of the ice. Now it goes back outside into the neutral zone. Boltman with it. Goes past the Ames man. Nice move. Looking for a shot. Missing the net. Rims up across the boards. Kept in by the defenseman from the point. Sending it in. It went back towards the corner. Pressed up against the boards. Back to the point. Schilling gives it the lie. Here's a shot. The post and he scores! Another goal in from the top of the blue line. Cedar Rapids, 5-1. Caden Lai, the sophomore from Prairie High School, 82 in black and green. You love to see the offensive damage here by your defenseman. Aiden off the draw, losing it. It goes back out around. Here comes Ames inside the zone. Folkers with it. Drives to the net. Here's a shot there. Knocked it to the side there of his blocker side of the pad. Back around. 88 with it in the corner. Knocked off the puck. Aiden sets it up across both the boards. It was Aiden who gets back on it. Backhanded attempt off the boards. Back to Lai. Lai slices one up ahead. Right to 92. Sets it up across the glass now. Caden sends this one up ahead. Manziel uses the boards. Here comes Phillips. He's in one-on-none, shooting over to the stomach there, the Ames goaltender, and stopped. Seiler, Kahui with it, knocked out of his stick. Here's the turnover. Here comes Ames with it, knocked off the puck. Here comes his teammate in from behind him, tries to dangle him through. With it, moves it up ahead to the center of the ice. Dom takes charge. With it now, cutting outside off the boards, and just puts it in deep enough inside the zone. Tries to take it away, over behind the net. Kahui zips it through the other way. Up across the boards. Tries to take control of it. Back around, skating past the rider. 22 lifts it out in front of 44. Back around, skating with it. Barrett knocked outside of the zone. Goes back around, skating in with speed. Tries to angle him off. He cuts back in. Looking, makes a simple pass back to 15, who sends it ripping in through inside the zone. 11's going to try to get the puck, swiping and missing it. Underneath, chips it up ahead, and it goes back to himself. Underneath his skates, the referee's got to watch out for the flying sticks in the air. Stasky floats it up ahead, moving it out ahead, back or behind the net. With it, holding it here is Holtz. Parker, the centerman, off indirect pass on in front, red and taken away. Tries to throw it in underneath the bodies. Gage has support with Gunkel taking the middle of the ice. Still has it on a stick. Throws it out in front. Unable to get support on that attempt to the pass. In tries to get on top of the puck. It's moved up ahead there by Meyer. Goes up inside the neutral zone. Taken away by Gunkel with the pressure. The puck goes over towards the boards. He picks it up, sets an immediate pass in front. Sinclair tries to get the shot off. Running into a man. Now trying to find the puck up across the boards. Puts his body up against the side by the blue line. Unable to keep the puck in. Gage sets it in past the red line. Zipping it in. Deep. Throws it to 8. 8 puts it back. 34 picks it up. In orange, sends it up, indirect pass. Gunkel gets absolutely buried there by the Ames bench. Puck is underneath his feet. Manziel tries to pick it up. Back around, Aiden. Aiden takes a shot there. Back to 19. 19, Nelson there, knocked down to his feet there by Lai. Frangella puts it underneath the feet of Phillips, taking down his man as he ran straight into him. Back around, swerving away past his opponent. Cyclones with it. Up ahead, tries to go in with support. It's a 2-on-2 at the moment. Looking around, tries to get up ahead, but he's stood up by Lai, knocking him off the puck. 8 with it now. Getting attacked by a rider. Knocked off the puck for a moment. Now he still has it. Throws it to the net. Here's a save made there off the shoulder of Caribou. Getting just enough of it to make the save. Now back around, here comes Phillips. Lost it, picks it up. Now sends it in, deep inside the zone. Tries to steal it away. Seiler has it, takes a hit, and knocked off the puck. Cyclones sets it up ahead. Underneath the skates there is Seiler, taking it back of the red line. Back inside our own zone, makes a move. Has it back. Here's a shot save made there by the Cedar Rapids netminder. Halfway through the third period, 17 shots on goals for the visitors and 14 for the home team. Off the draw, sets it up over above the boards, a little bit too far for the defenseman. Holt goes out. There's a pass way behind Ben. Ben tries to swing it up ahead, not realizing that they were offside. Line change for Cedar Rapids. Sinclair line on for the forwards. Frangella and Lees Campier together for the defensemen. Puck goes immediately to Fran, who sends it in deep inside the zone. 92 leaves it back out to 7. But 34, Sinclair has to pick it up instead. Has it, looking, throws it to the net. Rebound out in front, off the skates of 92, blocking into the side, saving a goal. Wraparound chance, knocked away, thrown down to the bottom of the ice. There's a big-time checkup against the boards. Up the Fran. Now Boatman just throws it in, zipping it through the opening. Oh, what a check, a reverse hit there on 44 up against the boards. Now 7 knocked off the puck. 34 moves it out to his teammate from the side. Looking for a shot. Holding. Shooting. Rebound out of front. And then Ames unable to find the puck. Would have been a sure goal. And they would have shot it immediately off the rebound. Back around. Sinclair tries to get on top of the puck. It goes back out this time. The Frangella. Dom sets it up ahead. Leeskamp couldn't catch it. Picked up by the Cyclones instead. What could have been offsides there is called on. Frangella, man right on top of him, leaving it out behind. It's picked up by the Cyclones instead. Here's a shot. Rebound out in front, knocked aside. Here comes Manziel, tries to go in with speed. Out in front, here comes B from the short side. Buried down and taken into the boards. Taken away now by Cedar Rapids. Setting up a pass. One-timer by Nam. Taken away. B at the side of the crease. Thrown down again. Schilling with a shot. Carson blocker save made. And it goes over to the other side of the ice. Lai will try to shoot it. Rifling it over top of the net. Going back in our own zone. Cedar Rapids was buzzing there a couple seconds ago. Back around the Riders with the... Oh, my gosh, what a check there in the middle of the open ice. That's an easy penalty to call, as 76 will be charged guilty there for the interference penalty. And they will finally touch up as they will call the whistle. As Cedar Rapids, 2-minute minor, they will go on the power play. I don't know what their coach is putting up his shoulders like this. He's with the... I don't know what he's talking about. That was an easy penalty to call. He just ran in front of him and knocked him over. He didn't even have the puck. Waiting is over. We drop the puck underneath. Ames tries to throw it up ahead. Seiler underneath the puck. Holt tries to take it now. Holt has it. Dangling through with the puck still on a stick. Leaves it out for Dom. Back to Lai. Lai from the point. Leaves it out to Dom. Dom wanted to take a shot. Decides to keep it instead. Shooting now. Here's a save made. Popped up high up in the air and into the netting. Aiden off the draw underneath the stick there. Back to Schilling. Here comes Leeskamp. Tries to set it up. He missed Carson, though. Here comes Ames the other way with speed. Borette 44 alone at the moment. Shot save made there by Caribou. Here's the rebound shot knocked away. From the point now, tried to pick it up. B got a stick in the way. B gets absolutely shouldered up against by the penalty box. Phillips a long shot and missed the net. Ames with it. Going, tries to dangle past Aiden. Back around is 8, behind the net. Off his own teammate and almost went towards the net. Here's the pass out in front. Couldn't get it to him, though. It's zipping through down inside. There's a clear. Back out the Gunkel. Decides to drop it in to Carson. Carson with the puck on his stick. Forehand past the Leeskamp. Bobbles it. Tries to move a pass out in front. He missed it, though. Sinclair tries to throw it up ahead, forward. Sinclair, now it's almost turned over. It's given to Caden Lai. Lai leaves it out, Schilling. A lot of time being wasted right now in the last minute of the power play. Sinclair will enter the zone from the bottom right. Tries to circle back in on the net. Moves it to the point. Collected. Goes out to Fran. D'Angela back the other way. Sinclair shooting, and there's a save made there into the glove of the goaltender. Off the draw, Frangella tries to chip in the puck forward. Boatman picks it up. Gage off a skate out in front. Final seconds here of the power play. Lie with it. Moves it out in front to Dom. Dom sets it back inside towards the goaltender. The rebound and covering it back up. Back to full strength. 2:56 left in the third period. Cedar Rapids with a 4-goal lead. Zipping it through deep inside, outside of the zone, in past the red line as we have another face-off. '80 versus 86 on the face-off. Face-off one back by Carson, given to Stasky. Michael wanting a shot there, completely thrown over into the netting. Not sure if that was deflected or not. It fell off his stick a little wrong. Schilling's going to go off for Dom. They're putting Dom in for, he wants his hat trick here. He wants the third goal off the draw. Falling ahead forward, tries to keep it in, he will. Frangella tries to make the move in at the very end. Back to Gus, here's a shot off a man in front that's going to redirect wide of the net. Hit off of a defenseman. Back around, speeding through with the puck. Sets a pass out of front, right through the hole of the two defensemen. That's going to be icing, as long as it keeps on going, and it will be icing. Off the face-off, it's one back towards the corner. Back around by the boards. B puts his shoulder into a man. Puck goes outside of the zone. Picking it up. Lou Dale with it. Lou Dale taken down. B takes him down to the ice. Popping out puck. Aiden tries to get on top of it. Puts a stick in the way. Take it back the other way for 7 in orange here for Ames. With it, tries to drive around the net. Man falls over in front in the center of the ice. Moves to the front. Here's a shot save made there by Caribou. Able to get the pad out just in the nick of time. Out skating the other way with the puck. There's a nice check there by Kellen. Tries to find the puck. Up ahead, off the defenseman, bouncing through. Outside of the zone, it's knocked out. 7, holding it here. Langerman right on top of him, leaves it out for Boret. Boret with it, pulls back away. Langerman able to steal the puck away now. Over by the boards, held in with the puck. Lie, backhander attempt. Skating around with it, below the red line. Up behind the net they go, losing it. Taken back by Lie, takes it and throws it in deep, tries to get it outside of the zone. Gunkel tries to battle through as the puck squeaks back out. Borat with it. Back around, indirect pass, goes back to the Riders. Cedar Rapids, Lie, getting attacked by 2-3 Cyclones on the puck. Falling over on top of a man. Back over into the corner, tries to pick up the puck. Redirected towards the center of the ice. Ames with it now, up ahead, 44, making a move, driving up ahead, unable to get the shot on net though. Back out in front by the Cedar Rapids bench, picks it out of the air. Frangella tries to give it out, the Gunkel. And with 25 seconds left on the clock, it looks like Frangella will not get his hat trick. Oh, nope, they're putting him back on the ice now. He's got one last shot. He wants free. Can he get free? He's got 25 seconds to do so. Immediately winning the faceoff. It goes to Leafs camp. Here's the attack here by Ames. Frangella looking for an option. He sets it up ahead with the pass off the Ames man. Now down by Seiler. Tries to drive past one man. Dangling through. Battling for it in the boards. Tries to pick it up. He throws it in. Up the other way towards the corner. Tries to pick it out. Frangella, opportunity, and unable to get as he backhands it over top of the net. But Cedar Rapids will end the losing streak and will finally get their first victory since the start of the season with 5-1 over the Ames Cyclones. And that win has got to feel extra nice. Extra good, too. "26 shots on goals for Cedar Rapids, 19 for Ames." That will do it for game number 1. Game number 2 coming up next of the Varsity Riders versus the Varsity Cyclones. That one will be sure to be a good game as well. We will see you folks soon for our next telecast.